Hello everybody, I am the Helpful Witch, and today I want to discuss what I'm expecting to see in the opening act of Hogwarts Legacy. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below and comment what you want to see me talk about next. And now let's jump straight into the video. I want to start by saying that I've taken this information from the various videos and showcases released by Avalanche and some good guesses using what we know about the Wizarding World and the stories that have been told before, including Harry, Newt, Scamanders, and Voldemort stories. So let's first establish what bits I am not sure of and which ones I am actually more sure, as we have seen these during the various clips on different trailers and other videos released by Avalanche. So to recap, what I believe are the beginning shots that we have seen can be actually distinguished by what I call the beginning robes. So during the character creation, we actually see our main character wearing the same robes that then we see during many of the shots and little clips we've seen in the first few trailers. And I think all of these take place before we actually arrive to Hogwarts and therefore delineated the beginning opening act of Hogwarts Legacy. These shots include Professor Fig and the main character fighting Ranrock, the main character and Professor Fig going over some basic combat, Fig and the main character repairing the bridge into the ruins, the main character on a broom, and the main character on the carriage to Hogwarts with Fig and another unidentified man. All of these shots are before we arrive to Hogwarts and include the beginning robes, but there is also actually a couple of shots with the main character wearing some unidentified robes. So these are robes that have not been yet sorted into any of the houses, and therefore instead of having a red, blue, green or yellow M on the end of the robes, these have actually got a grey hem at the end, which signifies the Hogwarts crest, but that does not actually mean that it's been sorted in any of the houses. So I think there is going to be a time where our main character gets changed from our starting robes into the Hogwarts robes, then we'll get sorted and then the robes will change color to reflect which other house we get sorted into. The main shot where you'll be able to see these grey robes is actually during a shot of the professor and our main character touching one of the portals that looks like is going to lead into Gringotts, and this portal then fades out and our main character is a bit confused. So this is a very quick shot that happens in one of the trailers, and that's as far as we see about the grey robes. These robes have also been mentioned during the Harry Potter books, where Harry has to buy in his first year one of these type of robes that doesn't actually reflect any house crest, and then these I assume will magically change color based on the house you get sorted into. Okay, so now that we've gone over all of the shots that I believe are included into beginning act and that we've actually seen, we can start to go into a bit of the speculation about what we're actually going to be experiencing at the beginning, what is our backstory, and why we get brought into Hogwarts from, wherever we started in, and why are we starting as a 5th year. As we know, a lot of this game is going to be centered around the ancient magic, and I believe that Ranrock has actually been looking for somebody that can give him the power of the ancient magic for a long time. I believe Fig at the same time is going to try and follow into Ranrock's footstep of actually anticipating his moves to ensure that he does not acquire this ancient magical power. So I believe that Ranrock actually tracks us down because he figures out that we are a long lost descendant of Merlin and that we'll be able to yield this ancient magic power. I think Fig as well will be trying to figure out who is this long lost descent because he wants to reach us first and ensure that Ranrock does not get his hand on us. I believe he might be using one of the old Merlin's books to try and figure out who we might be, or actually looking through, various magical families to figure out who this long lost descent is. We have actually got some hints through the PlayStation blog that actually speak about the main character backstory. So these are actually examples in the Wizarding World lore that have been given and kind of talking about the fact that our main character is actually a little bit of a celebrity like Harry when he first arrives at Hogwarts, because first of all it starts in a 5th year and so everybody's a bit confused by that, but also because it survived something. Now we of course don't know what what this something is, but we can assume at least that it's not going to be the Avada Kedavra curse, because we know that Harry has been the only one to survive it. I think something that they could do is actually not necessarily having us survive a curse per se, but having Ranrock tracking us down first and reaching ourselves and possibly our family, and actually torturing them in front of us to ensure that we awaken this magical power. Now, it's most likely that we don't actually have any magical power, because they have kind of hinted about the fact that we're discovering all of these things for the first time, like Harry did. So it would make sense that maybe we're seen as a squib, or that we have not actually got much magical knowledge currently, thus they can teach us all of about magic in Hogwarts, and we can learn as our main character learns about the different spells and about the different uses and methods and things and customs of the wizarding kind. But I think an interesting angle that actually does fit with the very tragic backstory, and also the fact that we have survived a something could actually be that Rhinrox finds us first and starts to battle our family or torturing our family in front of us to try and unlock this magical power. At the same time, I believe that Fig will have figured out who we are, or will have followed what Ranrock was doing, and actually starts to try and defeat everybody else and save us. But I think ultimately what will happen is that we will use some magical ancient magic that will actually save us, not necessarily our family, hence the tragical thing that we survive. And maybe it will even look like Ranrock casted a spell himself, so that during Hogwarts time nobody actually knows that we have this magical power, and so people think that whatever happened was Ranrock doing it to us rather than us emitting this powerful energy. I think Fig will actually figure that out and see us and understand that we are the chosen one, basically, and that we have this power of yielding the ancient magic, and so this will be his cue to start nurturing us and getting us to go around the world and actually unlocking more of this magical power so that we can actually defeat Ranrock. So Ranrock finds us, tortures our family, we escape, Figs help us. What do we do next? So I think during the fight, Fig will actually steal one of the wands from one of the enemies, and as he maybe teleports us away, he will give us this wand, and this is where one of the clips comes in. So we've seen him teaching us the basic spells, and this is what we'll see. We'll get this wand, which isn't necessarily ours, but we'll just start using that for the time being before we actually get sorted and then go into Hogsmeade and buy our actual wand. So we start using this wand, we learn a couple of spells just to get us through some very basic combat. Now before we go to Hogwarts, I believe that Professor Fig will actually bring us into a couple of ruins that we have seen into the trailers, and where we see basically Professor Fig repairing the bridge and actually get us to test this ancient magic. Maybe this will be an introduction to the puzzles and a very small dungeon so that we can actually understand what we'll be doing outside of Hogwarts. And also it will be a good way for Fig to actually test our magical abilities and ensuring that we are powerful and that we can use this ancient magic before he reaches to the ministry. We have also got a shot of our main character flying on a broom with the beginning robes, so I think that will also take place around this time, either before or after this possible dungeon or around the bridge area. I think that will take place more or less around this time. I think one of the main points is that we will find and unlock a portal that will bring us into Gringotts. I think we will see Gringotts, we've seen many shots of the Gringotts, but we won't actually end up going into Diagon Alley. I know a lot of people will like it, I will love it for sure, but I don't think we'll actually be able to explore Diagon Alley by itself. I think we'll just be able to actually phase into and outside of Gringotts through these portals that we can open because of the ancient magic, but I don't actually think that we'll be able to go outside of Gringotts into Diagon Alley. Having said that, we will actually unlock this portal, go into Gringotts and find Ranrock. I think we might need to find something inside of Gringotts, kind of like the Philosopher's Stone. We might need to take something out of it. Maybe one of the books from Merlin that Figs is keeping safe, and that's why also Ranrock is trying to grab it. I think we'll have that confrontation where we will end up with Fig throwing Ranrock away, and we will run to a portal and go back to somewhere safe. The next big we've seen is actually us going to Hogwarts, so I think what will happen is that the other guy in our carriage, I think that is probably a guy from the Ministry. Now I say that because one of the big mystery is why are we starting as a 5th year? You know, why were we not enrolled into Hogwarts before? Why are we allowed to start attending it now? What is the situation that leads to that? I think Fig probably contacts the Ministry to try to get us a place into Hogwarts, because of course this is an unconventional times and this is an unconventional way to join Hogwarts, but I think it will show him that we've actually got skills and that we can use magic, and advocate for us to get an education within Hogwarts. So I think what will happen is that there was actually going to be a discussion between the Ministry and the headmaster to decide whether we would be able to start enrolling on Hogwarts or not, and I think that's why we are 5th year, and that's why we still get allowed, because at the end of the day Fig or the Ministry will end up saying, yes, we really need to get this person in because they're maybe at this point we might be an orphan as well, and technically could even be more dangerous to not teach us how to use magic, because at the end of the day we are a wizard, and now that we can do magic, it would be worse if we were left to our own devices and start doing magic left and right and create the attention of muggles or make some issues for the Ministry. So I think it would be better for them as well if we get an education, hence why we start at Hogwarts. After the decision has been made, I think we'll be provided with these new robes. I think we will get changed in a cutscene because we don't actually have a dormitory yet. I think we will just get changed. Figs will take us into the room where we see the different passages as well as a big map of Hogwarts on the floor, a big glowing map. I think that would be our kind of safe haven where Figs will kind of take us and explain a bit of what's gonna happen, and then we'll get transported into the Great Hall where we'll get sorted and start our adventure at Hogwarts. I think also something that would be part of the beginning act would be the introduction to all the classes. I think again this is all of the little cutscene we've seen during the reveal trailers. I think all of those will be part of the first cutscenes that we see for each subject and an introduction to each of our teachers. Something that I'm very excited about is actually going into Hogsmeade and buying our own wand. I think there is a couple of places where this could happen. I believe there is a good chance that after we get into Hogwarts, we will be able to go into Hogsmeade still wearing our beginning robes with Figs and basically do a round of shopping, including going into Ollivander's. And maybe we will also then change our robes there, so we will pass from the beginning robes into the plain Hogwarts robes, where we will be using those to get sorted and get maybe a couple of other items that we might need, like cauldrons and parchment paper and all of that. And once we do that, then we'll go back to Hogwarts and get sorted. Another possible time where we could get our wand and other items could be with Nat's Eyes once we go into Hogsmeade for the first time, but I know that we get attacked by the troll, and I think we will also need a wand before we start our lessons, so I think we will need to do that quite before we start all of the lessons. So Hogsmeade will get probably introduced before the lessons, and then we will be able to free roam it once we finish the tutorials with all the different lessons. But yeah, I think once we do all of this, the world is gonna open up and we'll be able to explore to our heart's content and go wherever we want. I know I'm definitely excited to exploring Hogsmeade. I really want to see all the shop. I want to buy everything they have and just see all the items, what the items do, see all the effects that the potion have, and all of the different things that we will be able to buy in there, especially also from the different shops that are not necessarily for our school, like Zonkos and Honeydukes. I think those will be super cool. I am also very excited to be able to actually choose the wand. I think that's going to be very interesting. I know you can import your wand, but I still hope we'll have a little bit of choice, especially in terms of aesthetic, or maybe be able to actually choose the core and so on. I do know that the wand chooses the wizard, so I do wonder if they will basically not have that feature and just leave us with the same looking wand for everybody. But I would really hope that we can actually change our wand design. I think that would be super cool, even if it's a couple of presets or just a couple of different colors. I would really enjoy that. I think the wand is one of the coolest things, so I'm very excited for it. But yeah, these were my speculation about how the game is going to start. I want to know, what do you think about these speculations? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? How do you think the game will start? Are we going to be an orphan already? Will Ranrock instead of our parents, like Voldemort does to Harry? What's gonna be the beginning? I'm really curious. I want to know your thoughts, because again, I think this is a group effort. All of our thoughts together will give ultimately the right answer. I don't think anybody's gonna be 100% correct, as I always say. So please let me know your thoughts, and maybe we'll be able to, between all of us, come up with the correct answer. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And thank you again for arriving to the end of another video. I really appreciate you sticking with me and leaving your comments and let me know your theories down below. I really enjoyed hearing from you. So thank you so much as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!